Nah, hit the button. Yeah, I'm making a video outside. Yeah, this might be some crappy weather for a while, so figure take advantage while there's good weather. Make a video um, while walking and talking and such. Alright, so Carrie McCarthy, she did a TEDx or XTED or whatever, and on veganism, which is fine. But anyway, then she mentioned this interview she did with some guy, right guy or something, anything. Anyway, and I watched some of it, not much of it yet, but you can get the theme of it. You know, it's this Gaia kind of nonsense. And so anyway, they're talking about the brain, and this has always kind of irritated me. It's one of those things that just didn't entirely make sense. You know, when they kind of preach this idea that somehow your skull size or your brain size is like all there is, like that's somehow terribly important. And it just never really made sense to me because, yeah, I look at a bug and I say, that's got tiny, tiny, tiny amount of brain inside like an ant. Just tiny. And look at all the things it can do. Behaviorally, it's almost just as complex as us, and more complex. I mean, a flying ant, especially, right? I mean, it can fly. You know, not an unsophisticated talent to have innately. Required some would require some programming space. Anyway. And they certainly had the same senses we did, the radar, all that kind of stuff. They had antennas. They have all this extra stuff. They, you know, tiny brain. So clearly, in my opinion, this brain thing just had to do more with how big your brain is. It just basically suits to the size of the biology. And, you know, it really depends on what you have to do with the brain. So anyway, on the subject of intelligence, the trick there is really communication, I think. I mean, where brain size might matter in some sense, having actual neurons available. The language is the hardest part, I would say, of intelligence. You know, being able to form coherent sentences, know all the words. There's lots of words in the language. You know, and being able to use them appropriately is, you know, probably the bulk of our brain energy is occupied in that function alone. Not really doing something called, strictly speaking, intelligence. Combining the facts as we glean them. That seems to me to be the easiest part. First having it's like building the calculator is the tricky part. Pressing a few buttons on the calculator, that's easy. Sort of my argument here. You know, and there's lots of other ways you can say brain size can't be that significant because it's like the little people, you know, have small brains and they work fine. I mean, they're not retarded. You know, the smallest man in the world is like under 2 feet. He wasn't an idiot. I mean, obviously he didn't have the full complement of 3 pounds of brain. And it's only 3 pounds, you know, inside a kind of a big head, so let's not get too crazy about how wonderfully huge our brains are. Well, anyway, they do all this deducing based on how our skull changes, and that's more about how our face changed. And I think it's kind of silly to say it changed for like rational reasons or because they were improvements. I don't think it was necessarily an improvement for our noses to start sticking out. Yeah, I don't think that helps you much. Oh, snake! In a fight. Yeah. Well, I was just going to go. I mean, you know, the reaction to a snake thing, like that's the old part of the brain. You know, it's little pieces of still old stuff in there. Lots of archaic, redundant crap in our brains. they're not logic devices. They're behavioral devices. I guess that's one thing to keep emphasizing. And for them to do logic, we have to understand that that's not their function. That we have to go against their function to excrete logic and reasoning. Because the brain wants to scheme. It doesn't want to do logic and reasoning. It wants to do scheming. That's its natural impulse. So the point of the video is, my response is, in a sense, that we can see. I can see the smell of the Gaia steam that these people are going to, get caught up in. And there's just so much of that. There's so much of this. People finding. It's the Professor Anton thing, whatever. Love finding all this bullshit. Like somehow we were meant to be, just. I don't even know how to describe it, because it doesn't even make any sense. I mean, we know what we're meant to be. We know what preoccupies us, especially if you're male, and it's not love, in the in the friendly sense. It's crude and selfish and ego-driven and all that crap, and it doesn't take much intelligence to glean this out of our reality. And the fact that we ate fruit in the past, this guy's talking, and it goes, that somehow we were the fruit because we ate the fruit. You can make jokes about, it sounds kind of fruity. But this isn't science, and I don't think it's demonstrating that we have much capacity to do real intelligent processing. That we, in spite of our big brain, we're still preoccupied with the reptile monkey part of it, and have no intention, it seems, in recognizing that information and a clinical, formulaic respect for facts is what makes you intelligent. If you don't have that, you will have information, but it'll be crap. It'll be misinformation. It'll be distortions and lies and wrong impressions and fake images of banana people, in the forest. Just not real. Not accurate. And so this function of intelligence will be converted into a negative truth engine, not a positive one. You can't. We're calling it intelligence, but when it's full of rubbish, it's not intelligence. It's foolishness. It's nonsense, rubbish. So anyway, I shall go running and see you later. Hopefully, if I'm, don't stroke or something in the process. So, till momentarily. Alright, the swamp. That's Gaia right there. Lots of Gaia going on. Tree just fell down over there. Maybe we'll go investigate. It's kind of like you just say, what are the odds? Perfectly quiet, and all of a sudden a big tree falls down. No storm, nothing. Died of heat shock or something. So, pointing to Gaia. Racism, nepotism. That's Gaia. So, Gaia lovers, just acknowledge what you are then. Because that's Gaia. Alright, there's no love in Gaia except in the what's in it for me sense. That's the kind of love Gaia does. Can't believe somebody actually walked in that shed. Eek. This is a great old willow tree. Just fantastic. But it has had its, lost that in the hurricane. The big one wow, is this a tree? No, that's an old collapse. So it was somewhere right in here. Whole big tree fell down. You know, timber, crashy sound, all that. Nice. This is so. Yeah, I was a kid. I used to live right up there. So this was my backyard when I was a kid. And well, after 10 years old anyway, 11 years old. I really have been a fortunate little fucker, and I lived in very, very interesting places, you know, and you know, different, and interesting in terms of the available, whatever you want to call it, stuff. You know, it wasn't just malls and apartment complexes. Although I did live, you know, close to that stuff. So anyway, so I don't know where the tree is. Looks like a turtle over there. I don't know if I said duck maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like so. I have to go look because it looks like something. It's probably just a rock on top of a rock. I broke Gaia. Snap the piece off of it. Really quite yucky here now. You know, now that it's all Lyme diseased. Not the same. So when I was a kid, this was full of all kinds of snails and minnows, and you know, it's really quite dead now. Snakes and frogs, and so kind of disappointing to see that kind of degrade. And I guess that's the people using their brain to do this Gaia thing. Like, you know, they have an image of what it is, the warm and fuzzy parts of it, so to speak. And it's just not, it's not correct. It's like the manicured environment. You know, the one that, you know, I love golf courses. All manicured, all nature, but controlled. Nature refined. You know, I'd almost saw nature perfected almost. Yeah, that's the tiny fraction of the function of our brain, is stepping above the nature and recognizing just the simple truth that poo smells. Yeah, so yeah, let's get poo off the path. Let's not have poo on our paths. You know, this is the kind of stuff people are arguing. We have this gigantic brain to figure out. You know, I find it almost laughable to think you need a giant brain to do that. No, you need a giant brain to have the resources to be able to convey a word like convey, a concept like convey. That's the thing that you need brain space to produce, is a complex, rich language. What you do with that language, that doesn't require much intelligence. That requires just a few formulas. It's like math. You know, algebra isn't very complicated once you know it. I mean, inverting and multiplying and doing these certain little tricks, doesn't take much. Yeah, now when you look at it and you don't know how to do it, it looks hard. But once you know it, it's easy. And you understand how easy it is. Something's biting the fuck out of me. Or my brain is synthesizing the sensations for some reason. Yeah, I just feel, oh, ow, ow, ow. There's nothing there. That's what brains do. They do a lot of stupid, fucked-hearted crap. They're not all, you know. It does fart. It makes smells. Smelly ideas, smelly connections. It gets it wrong. It fucks it up. And all the King's Gaia isn't going to fix it. Gaia's not going to fix it. Because Gaia don't care about the truth. Gaia is about the selfish gene. There's a little dead critter there. Let's see, what could that be? Had a substantial rib cage, and it had a foot. Oh, there's a foot. It was a bird. Wow, lots of little stuff there. Yeah, swimming fins and oh, maybe it was a. Oh, that's a paw, right? That's a. Oh, it's a critter like a kangaroo or something. Yeah, it's a kangaroo. Oh, holy shit! An American kangaroo, little kangaroo. Might have been a rat. Anyway, yeah, maybe it was a rat, or kangaroo rat. Yeah, maybe that. That sounds a lot better. Kangaroo rat. See, that's what our brains do. A big giant brain, all we do is come up with simpletons and easy tins and happy tins and joy, mush, silly. And it doesn't really take hardly any brain resource at all to understand silly and say, oh, that's not a good thing. Yeah, you don't want to live on that. That's something you do in the bedroom or something. Yeah, you don't do silly in the real world. Not a good thing. So, yeah. Now that looks like a turtle's head. But it's not. I have a thing for turtles. Inexplicable in some respects, but there's always reasons for something. And, I always identified with the plight of the turtle. Nice to have this secure shell, but really inconvenient in a lot of ways. And, well, anyway. So, they were a ponderable creature. So I pondered them. Yeah, just because they were interesting. So they were worthy of some time, some thought. And once you think about something for a while, it will seep into you. Like the fruitarian symbiotically becoming the fruit, I suppose. But, yeah, I'd rather become a turtle than a banana if I had my choice. Well, I'd rather not be anything. Terminator was here. Cool. Oh, cool. There was a big Terminator fight right there. You can see it. It's obvious. That's what we have a big brain to do. It's really cool deductions like that. See a broken pair of glasses, Terminator, no doubt about it, proven fact. We can move on now. Terminator was there. So, yeah, proof. Shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Good, perfectly good polarizing film, Gary. I'll get it later. Alright, so I have to go back running soon. Anyway, yeah, so I think maybe I'll add something, we'll see. I don't want it to be a long video, because I'll probably make another video complaining more just about how the truth really isn't hard. And as long as we avoid stupid deductions, avoid, aggrandizing meaningless connections. Humans ate fruit, so what? You won't get lost in the bullshit, and you can have something called a real conversation about what it is to be alive and human. Fucking fly bit me right in the finger. Bitch. Always something. Oh, anyway, till next time. Little tiny toad. Little tiny brain. Yeah, but still can catch a meal. something you couldn't do. Very articulate tongue action. Anyway, so yeah, brain, not really about thinking abstractly or big idea wise, really just about creating desire and motivation through sense perception. So first feel it, and then think about what you feel, and compare it to feeling other ways through understanding that this will be the benefit. And most of it through conditioned mechanisms of habit. We have thought habits and feeling habits. And the word habit should be understood again to be one of those words where, if you have some knowledge of the world, habit isn't a good reason to do something like tradition. You really should be able to defend what you're doing as more than a habit. Anyway, there's lots of little things I want to throw in here, but I was thinking of using a comparison with lions or something, and cats, and just something observed, and you can say, well, is this what they are, or is this, is it the truth of it? But they have some communication, for hunting. But it's, I would almost argue it's a game they play. They don't know they're communicating and organizing. They just know that they have a built-in habit, a pattern of rotation. So you can sort of see it with cats. They rotate. They like to rotate where they sleep. They like to rotate where they rest during the day. And you can kind of see that as hunters, when they hunt as a group, they rotate the role. And you can sort of understand why that happens, because you wouldn't want the knowledge of what the different players are supposed to do to be lost catastrophically. So you want everybody to know how to do everybody else's job. So you have to rotate through these different roles. And all of the roles you learn, the young lions, I'm sure, spend time in each position in the hunt. And they learn to be patient. They learn that when you're in this position, you play the waiting game, and it will happen. The gazelle will run in front of you. Yeah. But they don't know that they're hunting with partners. They're just playing the rotation game, and this feels right, and I know what to do when I'm here. This piece of, it was like me going back to memory lane. You almost feel like turning over rocks and being what you were when you were there. Doing what you did when you were there. The habit is there, and that's what we're creatures of. And so I would argue that we're maturated in the hunt for the truth. We're taught silly roles. We put on the religious hat, and then we put on the nihilist hat, or we put on some other stupid fucktard hat. We play around, and this isn't a hunt for the truth. It's a hunt for a comfortable bag of bullshit. And that's what we find is, where's my comfortable location where the position in the game I like the best. What part of the race do I like to run? And people settle into that. They're doing philosophy by watching TV, or they're, all kinds of rationalizations created to, distort the reality into some more playable game. And the Gaia game, as it really is played in the real world, is a dumb game for dumb animals. It is the dog fight, the bull fight, the cock fight. That's Gaia's heart and soul. And there's just no going back home to nature and becoming a better person. Rejecting nature will make you a better person. Rejecting your nature will make you a better person. Yeah. It's a theme of my videos. You might have noticed. Oh, arm fatigue. Oh, really getting kind of old for some of this physical labor stuff. Yeah. But that's just excuse making probably too. It's just more unpleasant. And so then you start making excuses because it's not as fun as it used to be. Yeah. Oh, yeah, back home. So, I think that's enough of a video. Yeah. So, this orchestrated, constructed, fake Gaia that I live in. I love this flower. Ooh, it is. Pretty, pretty. I wish to molest it. And this is the Mexican sunflowers. It's just a brilliant color. It's kind of a small one, but tomatoes. I already had a few to eat. Quite nice. Lovely and such. Yeah. Anyway, hot out here. Yeah, this is some of my, I mean, it's just taking forever, but yeah, my lovely white marigolds, chrysanthemum kind, are starting to, getting some that aren't mutants, which is good. So, that's pleases me. Don't like this color much. I'm a real, see, I have a bigotry against the pink for whatever reason. It's just a little too much of it. Stay away. I like the reds and the oranges and such. Never really had much use for orange, but we can see orange in a lot of different tones of orange. Holy shit, there's actually a lily really late. That one's kind of interesting looking. We'll go investigate. Ow. Yeah, I thought they were just silly tiger lilies or something, but that's an interesting thingy. You know, it's got these little funky leaves and funky color. It's quite bizarre, actually. I mean, it's kind of a weird, you know, brown. It's kind of a weird lily color, but it sort of works, actually. So anyway, I don't think there's anything else in here that's... Nothing's doing spectacular, but it's all kind of not bad. See, this pink is tolerable. See, that's a... Yeah, that I can live with. See, and this is almost a... it's almost a flesh color or something. So I can stand that. It's that magenta-y kind of pink. I just don't like it. Yeah. Except for whatever brain reason. See, I can tolerate that color here. I don't mind it so much in the hibiscus. Yeah, they should be flowering any day now here. The big ones. Yeah, I just can't. They've never been. They're more than 6 feet tall. Never been that tall. Anyway, until next time. Such. Ah, cat. Meow. 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 Santino the cat. Santino the deaf cat. So I can sneak up on him. Ah! Snuck up on ya. Snuck up on ya. He said, yeah, I snuck up on you. Yeah. But you can see his behavior. He's back under there again. He rotates under there, under the truck. That one, I gotta stop him. Under the shelves. So he just kind of rotates. Anyway, until next time and such.